Today, we're diving into a story that really gets you thinking. It starts with just a few simple words, but it opens up this whole world of what it means to care for and protect a vulnerable child in a world that isn't always kind. So, to really get this, let's start by painting a picture with the words from the source itself. This is what's at the heart of the whole thing. It all kicks off with this observation. He's friendly. Too friendly. Just 4 words, right? But that one little word, too, wow, it changes everything. It takes this wonderful quality and immediately flips it into a source of worry. It really sets the stage for everything that follows. So, what does too friendly actually look like in practice? Well, the source explains it perfectly. He shares his lunch, his toys, even his secrets, without thinking twice. You know, sharing toys is great. We teach kids to do that. But sharing secrets without any filter, that points to something different. A lack of those natural boundaries most of us learn to put up. This kind of behavior makes you ask the big question, why? Where is this coming from? So let's take a look at how the source itself diagnoses what's going on underneath the surface. The source is super direct here. It tells us this isn't just about being an extra nice kid. It points to 2 core challenges: poor judgment and social naivety. And let's spend a second on that second term. This whole concept of social naivety is really the key to understanding this. It's not a measure of how smart someone is, not at all. It's a very specific challenge in reading social cues and seeing potential risks. It explains that earlier behavior perfectly, sharing secrets without even thinking about it. And this leads us to a really crucial point the source makes. It says, we've had to teach him safety in ways other kids don't need. Just let that sink in for a minute. For a lot of kids, these rules are just absorbed. They're picked up intuitively. But for this child, safety has to be taught like a subject in school, with specific, explicit rules. So this need for such direct, almost manual teaching, it makes you wonder, right? Is there a bigger reason for this kind of vulnerability? Well, the source gives us a huge clue, but it's hidden in a pretty interesting place. So let's just pause on that question. Based on what we've seen so far, the intense friendliness, the social naivety, the need for these spelled-out safety lessons, what could possibly be the underlying reason for it all? And what's so fascinating is how we get this clue. It's not written out in the main text. It's actually tucked away at the very end, almost like a secret message. And there it is, a single hashtag, #FASD safety. And just like that, everything clicks into place. This isn't just some random tag. It's the key that unlocks the entire story. With this one piece of context, everything we've just looked at is seen in a completely new light. That hashtag points directly to fetal alcohol spectrum disorders, or FASD. And now it all makes sense. The social naivety, the poor judgment, these are not character flaws. They are well-understood challenges that can be linked to a condition that impacts brain development, specifically affecting the exact skills you need for social safety. And check out the other hashtags the source uses. They build on this main idea. #protect vulnerable kids, well, that's the mission. And #teach boundaries with love, that's the strategy. You see, this isn't a story of despair. It's a call to action. It's a game plan. So once you have this critical context, the role of a parent or a caregiver is totally transformed. It stops being just about regular parenting and becomes this clear, powerful mission. It's a true call to protect. The source just boils it all down to this one powerful idea. Because innocence, in this world, needs protection. That one sentence is the entire why. It's the reason for every single rule, every tough conversation, and every moment you spend watching over them. So for a caregiver in this situation, what might look like overprotection to somebody on the outside is actually a mandate. It's an absolute duty to shield this specific kind of innocence and to guide this child through a world that they just see and experience differently. Okay, so if protection is the goal, what's the how? How do you do it? Well, the answer was sitting there all along in that last really powerful hashtag, teach boundaries with love. That phrase, #teach boundaries with love, is basically a 3-step instruction manual. Step 1, acknowledge the reality of the child's vulnerability without any judgment. Step 2. Teach the very specific, concrete rules that they need to be safe. And step 3, the most important part. Do it all with love, from a place of protection. And this is absolutely key. The two parts of that hashtag are equally important. You have to teach the boundaries, but you must do it with love. It's about being a firm, steady guide, not a harsh, scary enforcer. That compassion is the secret sauce that makes the lessons actually stick. And so we come full circle, right back to that line from the very beginning. But now, when we read it, it just hits differently, doesn't it? We understand it with so much more empathy. It's not a complaint. It's a statement of fact, of incredible dedication, and of profound love. So this whole thing leaves us with a bigger thought. This one personal story gives us a peek into one family's life, but it throws a much bigger question back at all of us. How can we, as a community, create a world that does a better job of protecting its most vulnerable kids? How do we move past judgment and toward active, helpful understanding and protection? It's a big question, and definitely something we're thinking about. Thanks for exploring it with us today.